Hey guys, this is Chris, and today I'm just going to do this quick intro and get right to the video. Try to keep it down 30 minutes if I can. What I've got for you today is videos that I shot from not this current firmware version, but the one prior. Even on this new current version, which I'll put these up on the screen, the one I flew on and the one we're on right now, I still am flying with no problems. The purpose of this video is you see people talking about loss of GPS signal, the higher, whatever the warning is when it gets too hot, the high heat, whatever they call that when it pops up on your screen. I don't even remember because it's been so long since I've seen it. But they're saying with the latest firmwares, the previous version, I don't know so much with this version, but they're saying that it's firmware related, and I'm not trying to debunk anybody, but to me that is not firmware related. Firmware is not going to have that, give that to you in most cases. So I think what happens is somebody's updated their quad, they go out and fly, and they get that, and they automatically want to throw it onto the firmware and say it's the firmware's fault, when it's pretty much probably just coincidence. If you hadn't have updated your firmware, chances are you would have had the exact same thing happen. So whether it be, something with your cooling fan, I don't know. It's just not happening to me. So on this day, it was 87 degrees, high humidity. I tried to do everything I could to bring that scenario to where that could happen. I flew in sport mode, 5,000 meters, came back on like 4% battery, and instantly put a battery in there, shot it right back out, went 3,000 meters, came back. I didn't have as much juice on that battery, but came back. Should have lost the quad because I came back on 0% battery, over top of water to boot. So as far as those two issues go, I'm not going to blame those on firmware. I think it's just coincidence when it happens. After you've downloaded firmware, you automatically want to say it's the firmware. Then I just want to address this issue here where the horizon is not level with your camera. That was taken care of a little while back, and you can now fine tune it within the app. And I did a video on that, and after I fine tuned it, basically you're homing the servos to what you tell it is level. After doing that, a few had said it won't stay that way, it'll go crooked again. I haven't had an issue. It stays straight. My horizon's real nice. So far that's been good. So I am extremely happy with this. So the main point in this video is what other people say. Don't necessarily let that mislead you to not do the firmware update, to not buy the quad. This is a great quad, and it's pretty much at the best it's been as far as my opinion goes. So in other words, just be your own person, figure it out for yourself, try it firsthand. These type of issues aren't huge issues that you were hearing about. GPS loss, signal loss, that can be scary. But then you got to look at how many people were saying it. I don't think enough people were saying it to where it concerned me. So I did the firmware update and I wasn't having that problem. So that's about it. Watch the video, see for yourself if you're not fully updated, or if you are and you're afraid to fly, if you have reservations about buying this quad. This should rule all that out. You'll be able to see I have no problems whatsoever with it. It's a great flying quad. This wasn't set for video or anything like that to make it perfect video. So I didn't hold my camera low enough. I think a lot of times I kept it upright, pretty much catching the props. But that's it. So watch the videos. I made them as short as possible. It's a total of 2 flights. And especially the second one where I come back on 0% battery. And that's it. Watch the video and take care. We're going to hit 10,000 feet here. Sorry, I keep getting bees on me. Still have, my GPS is perfectly fine, no overheating. We're even into the wind. Wind's blowing right at me. Let's go ahead and put it in meters, just so you can see the difference in so we're at 3,400 meters. Speed should go up to 16. So we're going about 16 meters a second. 18 is your top speed. We can put it into sport mode if you like. Now we're in sport mode. We should get up to 18. Close to it. Like I said, we're blowing in the wind here. So we're good. I'm 4,000 meters away. I'm not having any overheating issues yet. No GPS, loss of GPS. So for that I say, you know, all these people worried about this and not updating and not flying their drone. Yeah, other people say this is happening, but be your own pilot, because it doesn't happen to everybody. I don't understand. And we're approaching 5,000 meters, 50% battery. We're gonna have to bring her home soon.
The drone has reached max distance.
And reach max distance. So we're 5,000 meters, pretty good. And let's just turn it around. Oop, too fast. Got it in sport mode here. And let's fly her back. Fly it back ourselves, now return to home. Because I want to go full speed here. Horizon's still looking good, that hasn't changed. $14, $15. It's taking a while to get up to speed there. Man, these bees are all over me. Little sweat bees. All right, let's check and see where we are sport mode wise. I'm on sport mode. 18. Maybe I was wrong about the wind. Now, looking at that grid, let's go over everything real quick one more time. Looking at that grid, again, it's mountainous terrain, but that's a pretty level horizon right there. It has not changed throughout the flight. I've done that calibration the one time I showed you guys in the video. Check out that video, I'll put it at the end of this one. And a couple people said it won't last, it changes, it goes away. So far, several flights I have not had it go away. I've only done that calibration one time.
Low battery for RTH. Please fly carefully.
Oh, hush.
Only RTH battery level left. The drone is returning. Using sticks in RTH mode will change flight route.
All right, well, she's trying to tell me I'm running low on my battery. No shit. But anyhow, I have not had a problem with this being an issue with the battery. I mean, with the horizon. I'm sorry, I'm thinking about the battery. My horizon is fine. I'm trying to line up here. And then flying in sport mode. We are 87 degrees today, high humidity. I'm getting bit to shit by bugs and I got sweat bees all around me. I'm not having any issues with it giving me basically a heating warning. I'm not losing my GPS. I've got 18 satellites. So the problems that people are warning you about, again, I say listen to their warnings, but upgrade your firmware, fly your quad, enjoy it.
Low battery. Please land ASAP to avoid damaging.
We got to get home. Hurry up. 28% battery. Let it reserve the battery a little bit on the return to home. It'll come home slower, but at a safer speed for the battery. But yeah, don't let other people's warnings keep you from buying this drone. Don't let them stop you from doing the update. Listen to me on this horizon issue. Do your calibration like I showed in my other video, and as you can see, it sticks. It stays. So I'm not worried about it. Looks good to me. The only thing I'm worried about now is let's make sure this baby gets home. We got some pretty good range out of her today. I always, fly over the water here, and I always come back on a low battery. I need to stop doing that. You can see my horizon there looks off, but for me, I think it's the terrain, and I can't turn it since we're in return to home. But if I turn it, that depending on the terrain, it will be level. If you look down below at the water, that's definitely a level source to look at. Try and judge off of the water. And to me it looks pretty good. Come on baby, you're getting home. 18% battery. Man, the sun is, I'm sweating my ass off. Battery's turned red now. 15%,
Low battery.
14%.
Please land.
Oh no, we don't want to land yet, honey. You just chill out. Let me pilot this thing in a minute here. I'm going to pilot it myself.
Low battery for RTH. Please fly carefully.
Come on. And we'll kind of get her over land here as soon as possible. We're at a high altitude, so even if it falls, I think it's done. Wing and a prayer here, guys.
Critical
Coming in
low
hot.
battery. Please fly carefully.
No shit. Shut up. Critical battery. Please fly carefully. Coming in. Coming in. She's coming down. We're over land anyhow. There we are, baby. Come on down here.
Low battery for RTH. Please fly carefully.
We're not going to make 5,000 meters, fellas. I didn't realize my battery was that low, so we're going to have to bring her on around here. Let's just turn it around, fly it back ourselves. But that's my second flight. First flight went 5,000 meters. I'll put that flight in this video. Try not to hit these trees. But
low battery. Please land ASAP to avoid damaging.
my main point here is that we are on second battery, flying in sport mode, long range, on a hot day, approximately 85, 87 I think it is right now, they said, and high humidity. So far I'm not having any of the warnings about it being too hot. I'm not losing my GPS. I'm not losing any type of signal. Satellites are great. My horizon's nice and straight. So all the things that people are saying, just be your own person, be your own pilot. Listen to what they're saying, but decide for yourself, because it might be something with their location. I don't know. It might be something that they're doing. The firmware is not going to cause you to overheat. The firmware will cause your horizon to be off, and as you can see, it's been resolved. So I'm not worried about that. Coming back on low battery again.
Low battery. Please land.
I'm gonna put it in return to home. Come in at a lower speed here. No, don't do that. Return to home.
Only RTH battery level left. The drone is returning.
There we go. So let it come home at a slower speed where we have better battery here. %. And I know in the video I keep repeating myself, but every time I see somebody say, don't buy this quad, or don't update this firmware, things like that.
Critical low battery. Please drive carefully.
Because, it's not a whole bunch of people, it's not enough people saying it. When you see a bunch of people saying it's fine, you see other people saying different, sometimes you have to wonder, is it the person saying it? Is it their problem? Is it the problem with their quad? I don't know. But I'm not having any with mine, I can tell you that. Throughout the flight, my horizon stayed nice. Again, you're looking at different terrain here. If you go through and watch the video, I think it's enough proof to show you that it's straight if you look at certain things. %6 battery. I can see it. Should probably just take it out of return to home and hit full throttle now. But we're getting pretty close. Let's just see what she does. 4% battery. This might be the lowest I've gone yet on the Fimi. I don't like being over water at that low of a rate, but 3% battery. 2% battery. Come on, get over top of this land. Get on down here.
Using sticks in RTH mode will change flight route.
I'm exiting out.
Low battery for RTH. Please fly carefully.
Coming down. 1% battery. This might be a good video, y'all. Hey, don't turn there. Sport mode sucks for turning. Coming in real hot. There she is. She made it back on 0% battery, y'all. Okay, so today's goal was to set out and fly in high temperatures. It's 87 degrees, high humidity, in sport mode, 2 batteries, 5,000 meters. So I got the first flight at 5,000 meters, came back, very low battery. Second battery didn't have as much juice as I thought it would. So we got just over 3,000 meters, I think, if I recall, and flew back, but I was in sport mode in both flights, except for portions of return to home. And I wasn't having any heating issues. I wasn't having any of the issues that people are kind of claiming, and I'm not debunking it, saying that you guys are lying or false or anything like that. I'm just trying to get people to understand, just be your own pilot or be your own person and try it for yourself, because it's what's happening with one person might not be the same thing that's happening for you. So in this case, mine's perfectly fine. The temperature underneath, it's not hot, but it's pretty damn warm. The motors are warm, but this is a heat sink on the bottom, And as far as I know, that's the job it's supposed to do. It's got a cooling fan. The fan runs, exhausts the hot air out of it, so it's perfectly fine. It's gonna get hot on a hot day. I have got bees all over me, all over the camera, but it's going to get warm. But I'd never, as you'll see on the flight on the app, I never got a warning saying, hey, you know, high temperature, whatever that warning is. I forgot what it's even called because I haven't seen it since my first several flights with this thing. But on the latest firmware, I'm not seeing it, not having any loss of signal, loss of GPS, anything like that. None of that. So I don't know what to tell you guys. Be your own pilot, be your own person. Buy this quad. This is an awesome quad. One of my favorites. This, the Paradenofi, and of course the Mavic. These are my top quads. I am so happy with this thing, and I just keep flying it. That's all I do. I just keep flying it. I'm not, you know, when the horizon was off a little bit, that was no big deal. I don't really care. But now that's ironed out. I've done the manual calibration, and I've had 5 or 6 flights since then, and so far my horizon is held very nicely. In the flight, you'll see it looks like the horizon's off some, but if you look at the grid on my home screen, on the home screen recording, if you look at that and level up things like the water or some of the land below or some of the clouds, you'll see my horizon's pretty damn straight. So I don't know what else to tell you. Upgrade to the latest firmware. I'll put that up on the screen, what it is. If you're hesitant in buying this quad because of things other people are saying, I say ignore it. Be your own person. Go out and buy this baby, especially when it's on sale. And you know, take it out and be your own test pilot. Check things out. Make sure everything looks okay. See if you're getting that signal. See if you're losing GPS, stuff like that. I have seen people have issues on their YouTube channels where they crash and such like that. I'm not saying that there's nothing wrong on their end, but I really don't think it's the firmware. I think it's just one of those things that whenever somebody updates firmware and then they happen to have an incident, it's automatically blamed on the firmware because it's new firmware. I don't think that's the case. It's not firmware. I think it's coincidental or something more centralized to that person themselves, or maybe even their quad. I don't know. So we're going to end this because I've got these bees all over me. I don't know if you can see them, but hey, thanks for watching, everybody, and more good videos to come. So hit that subscription button and hit the bell for more future content. And as always, give that thumbs up on your way out, and we will catch you later. Take care.